And now we need another name. I don't know we can do it. We've moved on. We can't do it. But thank you. Richard. Okay, Richard. Come on up here, Richard. And you guys, it is not easy. These guys are running for a position that you don't get paid for. However, you can have a lot of influence, and that is why it is really important that we ask the tough questions, because we have seen what the influence has been throughout the party, even on a national level. I'll give you a little bit of that too. But so it's really important. But thank you so much for Jay and Tom and Richard for stepping up to the plate. So go ahead, you got about 3 minutes, and then we'll take questions.
Thank you very much, Karen. It's good to be here again before the DC Works for Us crew. I know that you are all hard grassroots activists, that I've seen you out there on the trail, whether it's for Allen West, whether it's for walk-in precincts, the Coral Springs office. I'm very happy to have worked with you, Karen, doing that, getting you those bags that you needed. Our slogan, Colleen and myself, bringing back the grassroots. That is what BREC is all about. It's about the grassroots volunteers getting people involved and getting Republicans elected. Now, I've been volunteering for the Republican cause for over 10 years. Since coming back to Broward, I've been doing it here. I've served on committees since '06 in the BREC. I have volunteered for tons of candidates all across the county. And what we have here, Colleen and I, we came up with a plan. We call it the 8-point platform for the almost 800 precincts that are here in Broward County. First item is GOP unity. I'd much rather talk about our shared conservative values, what unites us, rather than what divides us. I'd much rather take the fight to the Democrats rather than each other. Growing our membership through what I call the 800 Club. Like I said, there's 800 precincts. We need to actively go out there and fill all of these 800 precincts. And as somebody who has done that, Colleen, when she was membership chair of the BREC, read on 176 new members. I've also started a Republican club, the Republican Club of Greater Hollywood, where I got 40 paid members within a matter of months. So as far as growing the organization, Colleen and I have done it. Empowering our members in local clubs. I think there should be public comments at every BREC meeting. I don't mind being in the hot seat. So that's one item. Another thing, there should be a chair of the club presidents elected so that they can keep the BREC informed, sit on the dais, take part in executive meetings, keep us informed about what's going on in the county. I think we need that. We also need regional chairs across the county because it's a huge place. Fundraising. You hear a lot about fundraising. Well, I'll tell you, the proof is in the pudding. Before I became treasurer in May of 2010, from January through then, there was only $2,480 raised for the BREC. Since I became treasurer, the BREC raised $40,000 through right now. So when you're talking about fundraising, you look at, I have done it with the board. I'm not taking credit for it all myself, but we threw that victory dinner. We put it together quickly. We needed to do these things, but in an environment where you have regular Lincoln Days planned, regular Reagan Days planned, fundraising throughout the year, then we don't have to go into the crunch time and just do it because we're getting low on money. But I have raised funds for the organization. I've dipped into my own pocket. I'm probably the only treasurer that ever asked from the floor of the BREC to match a contribution that I made. I said, I'll match the first $500. I just did that on the spur of the moment. We raised $1,390 that one night. So there are innovative things that I have done as the treasurer that I don't think any other treasurer has done. Committees. There is a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of talent in this room. And anybody who's not a BREC member, I think, should join. Of course, you have to be a Republican. So we would have to register you if you're not already. But committees, there is a lot of talent out there in the BREC. I have served on committees since getting involved. I've served on committees since 2006. One question, one stat that I brought up was registration. There's about 247,000 registered Republicans in Broward right now. It's about 246,000 and change registered independents and third parties. I don't want to see the Republican Party become the third party in Broward, so we need to get a registration committee of sorts. Technology. As a county with the second largest number of registered Republicans, we need a website that is second to none. Get out the vote training. I have done precinct training. I've sat on boards where we trained our members twice. We did one in Hollywood, we did one in Coral Springs. So we need to do that to get people aware of what they need to do as precinct committee members. And finally, shared celebrations. Recognizing the efforts of all of our hard workers will build goodwill in our organization. My name is Richard-DeNapoli. Thank you. I'm running for chair, and I'm asking for your vote.
All right, you're gonna like it. You're gonna need it.
I'm going to need it.
Do you have any questions?
Here come the questions.
The questions. Yes, I do. Okay, great.
Jojo, how are you?
Hi. I've been sitting on the fence kind of looking at everybody running. So as you know, I had a question for you at the beginning. I asked you directly, you answered me. I was very satisfied with that. But here's what I would like to know and what I'm puzzled about. You've been part of the BREC committee by earned admission since 2006, right? You've been political director and treasurer. I do applaud you for what you managed to do with, position as a treasurer. However, those problems have been going on for many years. And you're a political director and you sat on that committee for a while. So as a voter, I'm going to ask you, why should I expect from you to do more now when nothing has changed since 2006?
Well, things have changed since 2006, and I've always thought that I've been a positive impact of that change. As far as that political committee that was kind of an ad hoc thing that was thrown together by Chairman Chip LaMarca, myself, Tim McClellan, David Mayman, and Yeoman Postelnick were on that committee. And basically we came up with ideas to try to see about recruiting candidates. There was also a candidate recruitment committee, which I did take part in. We actually had an event with the RBN in 2007 where we had Heidi O'Sheehan show up. She was a first-time candidate in Hollywood. And I counseled her on numerous occasions and, about what it takes and things to do to win. Patty Asif, another city commissioner in Hollywood, we talked with her. So we've done lots of things. When you're on the first time on a committee, you can't expect everything to be magic. But I know as treasurer, I've done more than what's expected of a treasurer. You're only expected to keep the books. I made it into a fundraising as far as like reducing spending in the BREC. Somebody mentioned coffee. Well, you're looking at the guy who cut the coffee, because I found out it cost $300. So, and how did I find that out? I asked, why does it cost $1,100 at a BREC meeting? I said, can I have an itemized bill? And that's what I asked the Sheridan. And they gave me an itemized bill, and then I found out the coffee was $300. So I said, I don't think so. So that's an example of the things that I've actually done while involved. And I think I have done a lot of things, and I hope that answers your question.
So that's pretty much to expect since you've had the...
Go on to another question. I'm sorry. We just so we have everybody has an opportunity. But thank you, Jojo. Anybody else on this side? We need everybody to be able... We have questions? Go ahead.
Sir.
Hi. Thank you again for running. My question has to do with your thoughts on supporting actual local candidates when they run, because that's been a problem in the Republican Party as far as BREC supporting a lot of local officials who are running as Republicans, and a lot of them not getting a lot of support. I just want to get your ideas on that whole issue.
Well, we do need to support our local candidates. That's something we got to do. I think you do it by filling these precincts so that no matter who's running, no matter what election comes up, whether it's a local election, state rep election, state senate, Congress, anything, that we have people out there on the ground ready to rock and roll as soon as they announce. And that's part of what I mean by building the BREC, getting precinct committee members involved, showing them what we need to do, and then getting there. As far as supporting local candidates, you can ask Jim Gleason over there. He's a first-time runner, and I helped him out, and I talk with him and, offer him any advice that I can give. You can ask lots of other local candidates throughout the community that I've often helped them. And I know that the BREC is not the most efficient in getting information to the candidates, but whenever they've asked me, like Frank Misana, he said, I need to get some precinct lists. My election's coming up next month. He's like, what can I do about it? So I said, give me a day. I'll get you all those precincts in Margate. Go ask him. I got them for him. So if anybody comes to me directly, I've always done as best as I can to give them what they need. As far as volunteers, I know the YRs have come out for a lot of local candidates, including Mayor Truex. I know that other volunteers have come out. I know that I personally have come out and volunteered, walked precincts, made phone calls, done tons of things for local candidates. So I hope that answers your question.
Come on, guys. Oh, there you go. We have a question.
Hello.
Hi there. I want to applaud you for your ability to speak without notes.
Well, I had a little bit of notes there, so
Well,
don't give me too much
it
applause.
wasn't obvious. Okay. What is your educational background, and how will you use this to help BREC?
Well, I'm an attorney. I was licensed to practice law after graduating from Fordham Law School in 2002, passed the bar. I'm also a trust officer at a private bank, a certified financial planner, realtor. I have lots of different licenses, lots of different experience. I have a bachelor's in politics and Italian from NYU. I studied in Italy. I've traveled a lot. You know, I've done a lot of different things over the years. So that's a little bit of my personal background. I was born and raised in Hollywood, Florida. I still live in the house that I grew up in, because when I came back to take care of my grandparents, they raised me, and they were elderly, and I took care of them when I came back to Florida, and until they passed away. And then I stayed in the house, and that's what I did. And I started getting more involved in local politics here. So I hope that answers your question as far as the personal background, but did you have anything else about that?
How will your educational abilities help BREC?
How will my educational abilities help BREC? Okay. Well, being a lawyer, I think it does help, because there are a lot of financial questions. As treasurer, we have come into those things. You know, people have reached out to me on candidates and things about how to file their treasurer's reports, what to do, things like that. There are a lot of legal issues that come up in the BREC. So being a lawyer helps. Being a financial planner helps too, because you learn about, you know, fundraising, you learn about these things. I think I have a lot of the personal background, working at a private bank as a trust officer. You know, they have us manage money for individuals, and you know, they put you in that position of trust, and I think that's something also that's vital to be involved in the BREC.